Hello everyone, my name is Anna and I decided to create this channel to cover some true crime cases. But the thing is, you would ask me, what's new about this channel? Well, let me tell you that. I'm Ukrainian with Russian origins, so I'm planning to cover cases that were never covered by any YouTubers that were happening in Russia or Ukraine or some Russian language countries or places. So this time my first video is gonna be about a case that happened just last year, and it's a case about three sisters, 17, 18 and 19 years old, who killed their father. Now you can judge straight away, how can they do that? You know, it's unbelievable, it's crazy, but they had their reasons. So let me tell you what happened. So on July 27th, 2018, the body of 57-year-old Mikhail Khachaturian was found on the staircase of his apartment in Moscow. He was found with multiple stab and cut wounds on the chest and neck. During the search, police found numerous weapons in the apartment, which is a knife, a hammer, a crossbow, a rifle, 2 air guns, a traumatic weapon, 16 bullets and 16 darts. Next day, 3 of his daughters were arrested. They admitted during the questions straight away that yes, we did this, but hear us out why we did this. So this is their reason. It was due to a hostile personal relationship due to their father causing moral suffering for a prolonged time. So on July 29th, 2018, they were charged with murder without aggravating circumstances. As the defendants testified, the man has beaten and humiliated them and sexually assaulted them through years. Shown by the investigators. On the day of the murder, Mikhail Khachaturian came back home from a hospital. So it was a psychiatric and neurological center. And again, he punished his daughters for spending too much money and for a mess in their apartment. So that was his punishment, which was spraying their daughters one by one with the pepper spray in their faces. So one of his daughters, by the way, their name was Christina, Angelina and Maria. So Christina, she just fainted straight away because she had an asthma attack. And 2 other sisters, which is Maria and Angelina, they decided to kill their father because they were so scared for their own safety. And of course Christina's health, because she just had a heart attack because her father sprayed her in the face with the pepper spray. So when he fell asleep, as he usually did, watching a television, Maria and Angelina came to him with a hammer and a hunting knife. They started to attack him, and he woke up, of course. He started to try to defend himself, and he couldn't, right? Because they were just attacking him like with this knife and a hammer. And Christina woke up after an asthma attack, and she took this pepper spray and she sprayed it at him. She decided to run away from the apartment. So she opened the door from the apartment and he started to follow her. So now Maria took a knife from Angelina's hands and stabbed him next to the elevator, right to his heart. So he died straight away. Sorry, it's just so emotional for me because I know how it feels to be abused, and it's just crazy. But anyway, they decided to cut themselves a little bit, so it's gonna look like he attacked them with the knife, so it was like a self-defense. Shortly after the arrest, journalists started to release some audio recordings and messages to prove that they've been assaulted. So there was like a medical examination and it was proven that they were sexually assaulted. Let me tell you why they didn't ever go to the police, or they never told anybody. They told child protect services, but nobody did anything. It was proven afterwards, and they went to the police as well, but nothing was done. And their mother of these girls, she said that he's had a connection with the police, so that's why nothing really happened to him. Let me tell you about their family. Their mother, her name is Aida Dunduk. She met her husband in 1996, 3 years after she moved to Moscow. And she said that Mikhail, her husband at the time, was beating her brutally while she was pregnant with their first child, with their son Sergei. And she was only 19. And she said, "We got married with tears in my eyes. He beat me. And after that, we went to get married. And this continued for 20 years. With his relatives, with strangers, he could yell at me, beat me to the blood, and then say, as if nothing had happened, 'Aida, bring me some tea.'" Can you imagine that? She said that Khachaturian bullied their son Sergei so much, and he was beating him as well for educational purposes. And when he was in the 8th grade, Mikhail just threw him out from the apartment. And after that, he drove Aurelia as well out of the apartment, so she will not see their daughters anymore. And he was threatening her as well, that if you will see my daughters, I'm gonna kill you. So now it was all confirmed by neighbors, teachers, daughters' friends, sisters' friends, and parents of their friends as well, that they were abused. So grandmother of the sisters, she said that when Mikhail and Aurelia were together, she was allowed to see her granddaughters and her daughter just on Sundays when he was in church. Only then she was able to see them. So other thing that Christina said about the situation in their family, she said he demanded that we always be there and come at his first call. He had a special bell which he rang, and one of us should immediately run up to him, day and night, and do whatever he says, to bring water, food, anything else. He could not make an effort even to open the window himself, and we had to serve him as slaves. When girls were in jail, they said that it was better for them to be in jail than being in their apartment with their father. That was not there anymore anyway, but still, they didn't even want to go home. They said, we were living by a schedule. So prison schedule is not a nightmare for us. It's perfect. It's not even comparable with the one we were living by. Waking up at 6 a.m. and then follow the planning. We were not allowed to do anything else. We were not able to eat, take a shower, go to the bathroom when we wanted to. And father could forbid us to go to the bathroom or to eat as a punishment. So, about the abuse. The youngest daughter of Mikhail was never sexually molested, anything like that, luckily. But two others were asked to get naked in front of him, and one of them, he said, when you will get older, you'll have my child from me. So sometimes he was asking them to have a group sex with him as well. And this is just disgusting, you know. I mean, of course, he's not there anymore to protect himself or to defend himself. But come on, it's confirmed, it's officially confirmed that it happened. It was happening. Now, about his family. He has two sisters, as I understood, and they're defending him so much. They're saying it never happened, we never heard about it, or anything like that. And his nephew as well, he says the same. He was the best person ever, he was always so nice to everybody, and he never did anything wrong. On the other hand, his ex-wife, the mother of the sisters, she's saying, hey, he didn't even know where the tea was in the apartment. He didn't know where, I don't know, towels are. He didn't know anything. He just wanted her and their daughters to help him with everything. So that's the thing about the family. Sometimes girls were forbidden to go to school. Crazy, right? Just to serve him. And in the year of the murder, they attended less than 2 months in the school. Lawyers, they adopted a defense strategy for murder without premeditated conspiracy. So they say that it happened because of the self-defense. So it was not premeditated. On July 30th, 2018, a remand court hearing was held in the Stankyno Court of Moscow for the arrested girls. The judge expanded the jail term for another 72 hours. So the investigators received videos from the CCTV camera in the building from the night of the murder. The prosecutors came to the conclusion that the girls were concerned about their actions, so they knew what they were doing. The youngest sister, Maria, she stabbed her father 35 times. So the prosecutors, they were going after that, like they knew what they were doing. There was some conspiracy, or just trying to put them down and get as much time for them as possible. On July 31st, a representative of the Moscow Public Monitoring Commission visited sisters at the pre-trial detention facility. Girls reported violation of their rights because they were not explained to them at all. Plus, they were forced to give their first testimony without lawyers. Although the court rejected house arrest for the sisters, The youngest and the middle sisters were released for a house arrest from the detention center. 3 months they were not allowed to contact any relatives, any friends, so not use any internet at all. The sisters' uncle, Gennady Musailia, sorry for mispronunciation maybe, was recognized as the victim at the trial. And his wife, Naira Khachaturian, who's also the sister of Mikhail Khachaturian, father of the sisters, has filed a complaint against the girls' release from the detention center. Despite the fact that the girls, they said, we don't need any inheritance from our father, some relatives are saying that the girls had some mercenary motives for that, which doesn't really make sense because they said we don't want money from our father. And sister's grandmother, she cancelled Christina's registration in the apartment. On June 14, 2019, investigators charged the girls with a murder committed by a group of people following a premeditated conspiracy. The defense insists that the murder happened out of self-defense, so that was a motive for girls to do that. I don't really know, there is not really too much information what happened after that. They're still on the trial, they were still not sentenced, because now, after a lot of people know about this, there is a lot of protests, meetings, all that kind of stuff. I will insert some photos from these protests. People are saying, let them free, they're not guilty, it was out of self-defense, they were living hell for all of their lives. And it's just crazy how this whole thing is happening right now. So I don't have any information as if they're gonna be sentenced soon or not. The trial is still going on. So as soon as I know, I will update you guys on that case. But it's just so crazy for me. Tell me, what do you think about it? I would really like to know. I'm sure there is going to be a lot of opinions on this case, but I think they should be put in hospital after all that they went through. But apparently it's not how it works. So thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear your opinions on this. It's a very big case now here. I see almost every day some news about it, you know, on social media. So I would really like to know your opinion on that. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. I think you liked it, and I will upload some more cases that you probably never heard of, and I hope it's gonna be so interesting for you. Thank you so much for watching, and